Next up here on the Fantasy Flex is a segment we call Elite Entries, where Sean and I dive into the PrizePicks app and compare our player projections to the props to build some entries. Sean, what is your first PrizePicks Elite Entry best bet for week number 5?
So my first pick is Courtland Sutton to go over 52.5 receiving yards. I think this is a good buy low spot. Last week the Broncos pass game was a disaster. Once Teddy Bridgewater out of the game, Drew Lock came in. They only threw for 178 yards, and Sutton still finished with 47. So even a game like that, he can come close to clearing this number. I love him in this matchup. It seems like Teddy Bridgewater should play here, but even if Drew Lock has to suit up, Sutton has shown just an extremely high floor ceiling combo ever since Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler went down. Last week, his 168 air yards ranked 7th in the league. So he was a bit unlucky to only end with 47 receiving yards. I'm projecting him closer to the mid 60s here. We have about 15 yards of cushion. I love this over, and I would take it all the way up to about 58.5.
Yeah, this is just an air yards play. Air yards are like those invisible yards. And when they're not converted, they provide value going forward because they're very predictive. They're going to keep coming. And all you need is 1 or 2 big catches, even against a tough defense or the substandard quarterback, to go over that number. So I have it projected in the mid 60s as well. So I like this for your first bet. I am going with the guy I've been screaming about all week, Damien Harris, over 59.5 rushing yards. Again, last 2 weeks, he faced perhaps the 2 strongest run defenses in the league, in the Saints and the Bucks. He predictably did absolutely nothing. I think we were on his unders for those weeks as well. Now we're going over 59.5 rushing yards against a Houston Texans defense that is allowing 5 yards even per carry to running back, a very high total. And they're a run funnel. They rank 8th in pass defense DVOA, but 31st against the run. You also have the fact that game script should work in Harris's favor. New England, a 9.5 point favorite on the road in Houston in this spot. So love Damien Harris over 59.5 rushing yards. Sean, where are we at with our second prop?
So I'm going with Malcolm Brown under 27.5 rushing yards against the Buccaneers. This is just a great line to take advantage of. I'm projecting it closer to 19.5, 20.5. But, Malcolm Brown, he's still part of a 3-way committee with Myles Gaskin, Salvin Ahmed. And this is a negative game script that doesn't really set up well for Brown anyway. So even if he were to get 7-8 carries, which I think is closer to his ceiling here, going up against this Bucs defense, we can't really expect him to clear this number. So he has a very low floor here. It would not shock me if he ends with single-digit rushing yards here. I mean, we saw the Patriots last week rush for -1 total yards, I think it was. So just think Malcolm Brown has a really, really low floor, and 27.5 is way too high. So love the under 27.5 rushing yards for Malcolm Brown.
Brown played a season high 67% of the snaps last week. He still went under this numnumber.
Yeah.
8 carries for 23 yards. So yeah, we got to get that guy more carries.
Not against the Buccaneers either. Against the Colts.
This is a smash play. Love it. For my second PrizePick Elite entry for week 5, I'm going Hunter Renfrow over 4 receptions. Another one I just love. He's had 5 receptions in 2 games this year and 6 receptions in the other 2. He's averaging 5.5, which is 1.5 over his current line. And the Bears, they set up weakest in the slot. Duke Shelley, is their kind of their slot corner. They've been holding up a little better on the outside. Teams have been taking advantage of them in the slot. 3 of the 4 slot receivers they've faced have gotten at least 6 catches in the first 4 weeks of the season. So love Hunter Renfrow here, over 4 receptions. And to recap, for our PrizePick Elite entry for week 5, Sean is going with Courtland Sutton over 52.5 receiving yards and Malcolm Brown under 27.5 rushing yards. I am going with Damien Harris over 59.5 rushing yards and Hunter Renfrow over 4 receptions. As a reminder, PrizePicks markets do move, so you want to get on it quickly in order to lock in the best numbers.